One who's given a quote today says the president's support for inviting Russia back to the G7 just after they meddled in the election to support his campaign will leave millions of Americans with serious questions and suspicions. Again, that from Chuck Schumer. And then from the Republican Ben Sasse, this is weak. Putin is not our friend. He is not the president's buddy. He is a thug using Soviet-style aggression to wage a shadow war against America, and our leaders should act like it. Does the president, is he aware of these matters?
I think he is. The president feels like whenever you have an adversary, it's important to talk to them. And I think that's what he was getting at this morning. But, you know, not only will there be members of Congress who disagree with this, but also our allies around the world. And they'll say that basically we're probably rewarding bad behavior if we allow Russia back into the G7, what used to be the G8, without having them change their behavior.
Since the Cold War, we've never taken such a stand as regarded to Russia, have we?
No, this is completely new, and you know we kicked Russia out of the G8 in 2014, and there's just been this view that they haven't changed what they were doing in Ukraine. They've been very aggressive in Syria. We had this poisoning case in Great Britain. So the allies would say, why would you allow them to come back into this group when they clearly have been disruptive around the world?
And they're widely believed responsible for shooting down a commercial airliner that left 298 people dead. There's a bit of a disconnect there. The bigger picture concern, as the Russians aren't coming back to the G7, they've already said they don't want to, but the bigger picture concern is that the United States finds itself isolated. Practically speaking, 1 against 6 at this conference. What does that mean for relations? What does that mean practically speaking?
Yeah, I mean, the president and his allies have said that America first doesn't mean America alone. But that theory is going to be tested at this summit. It's possible that we could have, as Kevin mentioned, a communique come down that's only signed by 6 of the 7 countries, not by the United States. And right, exactly.
No, but I mean,
the concern is
who will care about that? What does that change?
The concern is down the line when there's a crisis. Are your allies going to be with you or not? And there are a lot of people here in the States who are concerned that when you isolate yourself, when you slap on tariffs on allies under the guise of national security, that when you need help in a crisis down the road, those allies may not support you.
Who's going to the president to ask him to change his ways on this matter? Anybody?
Well, you have some Republicans are certainly concerned with this. I think there's some advisors who would privately not like this idea of allowing Russia back into the G7, the G8. But
privately,
but largely,
no one wants them back in except maybe Dana Rohrabacher, and it doesn't matter what he thinks.
That's right. That's right. But there's the question is, I mean, I think the president sees this as an important venue to have an open discussion, to have all the important countries at the table, and I think that was the point he was making. But there are a lot of people who just say that we're not there yet. We should not allow Russia in.
India's got a bigger economy. Why don't you invite India in there? All right. It's great to talk to you. Thank you. Hope you have a good weekend.
Thanks, Shep.